Yes, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert is ending in 2026. CBS
This is your South Carolina brethren,
That's
man.
my guy, man. I've been on the Late Show probably. I think I might have been on the Late Show more than any guest. I'm not even joking.
I think I came to your first appearance, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. I think you were with me.
I was there.
Yeah, I've been on the Late Show like 7, 8 times. Like, with CBS announced that the Late Show with Stephen Colbert will end in May 2026, with the network calling Colbert irreplaceable and retiring the franchise. Colbert revealed the news to his audience, stating, "I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The decision to end the show was described by CBS as a purely financial decision against a challenging backdrop in late night, unrelated to the show's performance, our content, or any other." What did they say? Any other outside force or something like that? Colbert expressed gratitude to CBS and the audience, saying, "I'm so grateful to the Tiffany Network for giving me this chair and this beautiful theater to call home." What the fuck is the Tiffany Network?
I guess it's like the umbrella that owns the show.
I thought it was Paramount. I don't know.
But it's probably within Paramount.
Oh, got you. Like the show, which Colbert took over in 2015, became known for leaning into liberal politics during the Trump era and providing a platform for Democratic politicians. Now, nobody thinks this was strictly purely financial.
And can you make the argument as to why it's not purely financial?
Yes, I can make the argument to why it's not purely financial, because Donald Trump has expressed his disdain for Stephen Colbert numerous times, just like he's expressed his disdain for Jimmy Kimmel. And Paramount is looking to be bought by Skydance. And in order for the Skydance merger to go through, it's like an $8 billion merger. In order for the merger to go through, Donald Trump has to approve the merger.
The FCC has to approve it. And I think they have this guy there named David Carr, who's basically Donald's guy.
Yes.
And Donald hasn't said, "Hey, you got to fire him to do it." But
I think he has to have a stamp of approval too.
Maybe he does. But the FCC has been holding it up. And they've been claiming they're holding it up because of this lawsuit. Right? And the lawsuit was over the 60 Minutes piece with Kamala, and
which CBS could have won,
which
they just didn't even try to fight it. Here's this $16 million, and Trump revealed today that it's $60 million, and they're giving him like $20 million in advertising or something shit like that.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know how much we want to go over this, but the claim was that what they did edit a question, the way that Kamala answered a question. Mm-hmm. Like she answered it differently on, I think it's like News Nation, and then she answered it differently on 60 Minutes, which is a CBS property, both CBS properties.
But CBS did release the full transcript with it.
So I think what they're claiming is that they edited her answer to make it more favorable. What CBS claims is it's the same answer to the question, just a different part of the answer.
Yes.
And what all people say that are looking at the case is that CBS would have won this case.
Easily. Every legal scholar says that.
And most people that are in the news business would fight this tooth and nail, because what you don't want to do is bend to an administration that is concerned about you criticizing them, because it's important for the integrity of news networks to not bend. But in this certain situation, Paramount is putting their bottom line in front of the integrity of their business. They're going, "We don't care about the integrity of our media business. We want to make this merger happen. We want this sale. So fuck integrity. Let's just settle this lawsuit so we can get this sale through."
Who's going to watch you if they know that you're a network that has no integrity?
Well, now they have new ownership. So maybe this is the new ownership signaling, "Hey, we're going to be a little bit more favorable."
By the way, that meeting happened that week. Who was it? Was it Larry Ellison? Was it
Larry Ellison's son, David Ellison, owns Skydance, which wants to buy Paramount and wants to make this merger happen. So
met with the FCC the same week they got rid of Colbert.
Yeah. So there's a few things that are going on here which are interesting. One, CBS or Paramount.
You saw the headline?
What is this?
DEI is dead. Paramount, David Ellison, Skydance promises FCC.
Okay, so there's a few things going on here. Like, one, Paramount or CBS did this thing that was dirty, if you ask me. This is dirty.
Talk to me.
They released the financials of the show.
I don't think they've done that.
They leaked it. That's why we know that it was losing $50 million a year.
But everybody said that's not real. They said he was losing money, but $40 million?
Whatever. I have on good authority that that's true, but what it doesn't matter. The point is, it wasn't making money. And by all accounts, that's true. Now, there's different reasons as to why. We can talk about that in a second. But The reason they leaked it, in my opinion, is because they're trying to signal, hey, this has nothing to do with getting this deal made. This is just the fact that we have a show that's losing money and we want to get it off the books. But what it feels like the FCC is doing, or the Trump administration is doing, is leveraging that power that they have to stop the deal from going through, in order for them to make that change and signal to people, hey, if you're not favorable to us or kind to us, then we're going to stop deals from going through.
We call that authoritarian strategy.
Absolutely. And it's a horrible precedent to set, especially for comedy. Like, any comedians, myself included, that like have rallied against censorship in comedy, you can't just let this go through.
No.
Without criticism. Now, I will say, I don't know if I would tell the Democrats to put all their eggs in this basket, right? Because the show was losing money. You're not going to convince Trump's base that there's something wrong here.
But it's not just Colbert, though.
No, I'm aware. I'm just saying, like, the reason, my point is, like, if the Colbert Show was making money and they did it, throw all your eggs in this basket. Perfect example of authoritarian behavior. They have an excuse that will satisfy Trump's base, which is, the show's losing $50 million. It's bullshit that you can't cancel a show. I agree. And that's why I'm telling Democrats, like, I would be hesitant as to how much you want to rally on this specific cause, because it's so easily undercut to his base.
Well, what about PBS? What about NPR?
No.
What about suing the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch?
I'm not. I hope it doesn't come across like I'm saying that it's okay that those things are happening, because I'm really against those things happening. What I'm saying to Democrats is, I would be wary of this as a tool to convince disillusioned Trump voters to come back over, because they can write it off quickly because the show is losing money. Now, here's the question. Like, one, absolutely wrong if they're putting any pressure on a comedy show or any show in general that is being critical of them. Like, that's bullshit. Like, the essence of comedy is to rebel against institutions.
Absolutely.
Like, I think a lot of what was happening with comics that were in my zone, I guess you could say, is like, we felt like there were institutions that were not allowing us to do comedy the way we wanted to do it, and we rebelled against that. So the second it happens to the more left-leaning comedy, we can't just go, oh, nothing to see here. We also got to go, no, that's fucked up. Like, the whole point of this is we make fun of these institutions, and then if they don't let us, we make fun of them even more for not letting us. Like, that's in essence like why free speech exists in America. Like, this is important shit. What I would hope more than anything, and I think this would be the most badass fucking thing to do, is I wish that Colbert does exactly what we did. We couldn't get on Comedy Central because they had these like purity rules for what is okay comedy to do. We went to the internet. We put out specials on the internet. We created podcasts on the internet. We showed that we had a real audience. And now look, like, I'm doing specials on Netflix. I'm doing movies. I'm doing all these things. We showed that the people are there. One big difference, though. No, I agree. The big difference is, like, there's a difference between institutional government power and just a comedy network that's saying,
oh no, I was just going to say, because you're 41 and he's 61.
Oh, no. I think that's a good point too. Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, like, it would be so badass for me if they're like, we're doing this show and we're going to do it on YouTube and prove that we're the biggest fucking show, and we're going to say whatever the fuck we want, and then show that the people actually do want this type of television and these like jokes to be made, and there is an audience for this. Like, embrace the internet in the way that we embrace the internet, and prove to the powers that be that they can't silence you.
I think we're going to get some of the best Colbert we've seen over the next 10 months. He's been on fire all week. Jon Stewart was on fire on Monday, cooking. But, you brought up the ad revenue thing. Here's the thing, and this is why I say it has to be more than just financial, right? Ad sales for Colbert dropped from around 121 million in 2018 to 70 million in 2024, and nearly 40% died. That's not just Colbert. It's late night TV, period.
Well, I think it's period. It's linear in general. And what we mean by linear is just like TV on TV.
TV on TV.
Colbert has great numbers digitally. Like, if you watch the interviews, the clips. He's got great
numbers for TV.
Not anymore.
2.5 million viewers. He's the highest rate. No, I get compared to the heyday of late night.
Right.
It's not even close.
And the heyday of late night is what these ad budgets are dependent on, right?
That's ridiculous, though.
No.
40 million, 50 million people. You're not getting that.
No, I know they're not. But what I'm saying is, there's ad revenue goes down when views go down. Yes. And they were just getting less views than they used to. So naturally, the ad budgets are going to go other places, right? Like, they'll honestly probably go to like podcasts and digital stuff.
Absolutely.
So you have to hold the Colbert Show accountable a little bit for not leaning more into advertising or monetizing their digital presence, where they do have a huge audience.
I hold the Colbert Show responsible and Paramount responsible because, well, really Paramount more so than anything. You don't just cancel a show like Stephen Colbert, especially when Stephen Colbert, when you're on your quarterly calls and you're talking to your shareholders and you're talking to the revenue people, that's one of the top shows you bring up all of the time. Yep. The Late Show, and how it's the highest rated show on late night. Every other late night show has made cuts. Jimmy Kimmel doesn't work in the summer anymore. He doesn't work in the summer anymore because of budget. Seth Meyers had to get rid of his band. Jimmy Fallon only comes on 4 days a week. You know what I mean? They didn't even do anything with the Colbert Show.
There's a reason why, and a lot of people don't know this. So, like, in order to keep Colbert in New York City, they had
Governor Hochul. Yeah.
So what they did is they didn't want the Colbert, which is this late night institution for New York, to leave New York. So they made an agreement in order to get tax cuts. Mm-hmm. So they got these tax cuts that would lower the amount of money that they would have to make to be profitable. But the exchange with the government was essentially that they had to keep a certain amount of people employed. So they can't fire anybody. When you can't fire anybody, like you just mentioned with those other shows, they fired a lot of people to reduce the cost of the show. They can't do that. And they have 7 different unions. The rent in the building is probably astronomical. Like, the Colbert Show makes money. Let's say it makes $50 or $70 million a year in ad revenue. It doesn't cost that much money to make that show. It costs that much money to make that show, where they make it, how they make it. They could downsize this show. They could do the show for $20 million.
They did it during COVID.
Exactly. I wouldn't do that version, but
something a little bit more scaled up, but not too much.
This is why I'm saying, like, if they wanted to go after it, and I know Steven's 61 and maybe he wants to spend time with his family, but if they wanted to go after it and use the internet, the internet, I think people would respond to this in such incredible fashion, and it would really prove to the powers that be, like, yo, we're not going to be silenced. You could say whatever the fuck you want to say, and we have the platforms available for us to do it. Now, it's a big undertaking. I get what you're saying about age, but I do think the audience is there, and it would be the most badass, rebellious thing to do.
I mean, by the way, these guys have made a lot of money. Colbert was making $15 to $20 million a year for like the last decade, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's made a lot of money. He's got a beautiful life in Jersey, a beautiful life in South Carolina. You might just want to hang it up. You might want to go out with a bang the next 10 months.
My assumption is they asked him not to announce it for 6 months. Because Colbert probably got something in his contract that says that if you're not going to renew him, you need to give him 1 year advance notice. Most contracts exist like that. They told him, and then they probably were like, we would really appreciate it if you just wait 6 months to announce this, and then we can do a great last 6 months of the show. And he was like, fuck that. Yeah, and good for him for saying that shit.
Because he had just came back from vacation and he shitted on Paramount. He was like, they have a name for what Paramount did, with Trump by giving him the $60 million, and it's called Big Fat Bribe.
Now, I believe this kind of complicated financial settlement with a sitting government official has a technical name in legal circles. It's Big Fat Bribe.
You know what I'm saying? By the way, Colbert and Jon Stewart have been on this. Like, I know everybody's just starting to pay attention this week. They've been on Paramount to not settle, letting them know what the ramifications of this could be, how it's going to look. Everybody knows it's political. Do you think the same guy who literally just told the Washington Redskins last week, the Washington Commanders, if you don't change your name back to the Redskins, I'm not approving this new stadium.
Don't fall for all them distractions, bro. Don't fall for the MLK shit, this ridiculous Obama shit he's doing. Like, all that is distraction.
Epstein.
Boom.